Hello. So let's talk about the trip that we had in Azerbaijan and arrival and departure from Azerbaijan. And so before, as you guys probably know, that I was born in Azerbaijan Soviet Socialist Republic during Soviet Union in the capital of Baku. And during the war in Nagorno-Karabakh, disputed area, territory between Azerbaijan and Armenia, when Armenia claimed to have Nagorno-Karabakh as a part of Armenia or allow them to gain independence because majority of population that lived in that area were ethnic Armenians. So our area was basically about to be invaded by Azerbaijani forces or people who were fighting Armenians. So we have to make a decision what to do next. You cannot stay in Azerbaijan because you're basically gonna be giving yourself to death, or you have to escape. The option to escape was not really, or to move somewhere else was not really easy. Moving to either to Russia or another republic at the time of Soviet Union, and so the choice was to go somewhere safe. So at that time, my parents had no choice. There were not financial more resources available to move somewhere, for example, even to a Russian Federation. So the closest way and to escape was to take a boat through the Caspian Sea and move to Republic of Turkmenistan. At that time was Turkmen Soviet Socialist Republic, and we ended up in the town called Krasnovodsk, which literally translates from Russian as red water, but right now it's renamed to Turkmenbashi. So since we left Azerbaijan and there was no way to go back because situation was really complicated and was escalated, a lot of Armenians were killed. Pregnant women had their stomach cut. Some girls were raped. Situation was really getting worse and really bad, and it's not only Armenians suffered, also Azerbaijani people in Armenia suffered as well. And but since we moved to Turkmenistan, from Turkmenistan I entered the United States in 1995, and I never, since I left Azerbaijan, I never went back. And it was a little bit painful. We lived really beautiful life. I'm not gonna say that we were rich. We were not rich. It was my parents were working class people. But the life we lived during the Soviet Union was really lovely and peaceful, to be honest. All neighbors, we knew all our neighbors. We had neighbors who were Armenian, Azerbaijani, Russian, Ukrainians. Everybody were helping each other, and we played, we enjoyed life, visited relatives. So life was not really like what life is today in most of the part of the world right now, with all these wars and killing and all this mess that's going on, and then hate, and but I didn't go back to Azerbaijan because first of all I couldn't, and then I wasn't kind of like interested because of the memory in the past. But then recently I decided kind of to take my partner to Azerbaijan to show him the place where I was born, and actually to pay homage to the city I was born and raised, and to visit our apartment where we lived before. But a lot of people told me not to do it because there were articles and some information on the internet I found that Armenians not allowed to enter Azerbaijan, they're going to be deported. And citizens of Armenia are not allowed to enter Azerbaijan at all because basically they don't have any diplomatic relationship. Border is closed, and because of that situation with the war, then I came across with the information that Armenian who hold different nationalities or passport and with the Armenian last name also can be denied entry into Azerbaijan. So I was hesitating, and but then I kind of decided to give a chance. I applied for visa, electronic visa to Azerbaijan. Visa was granted. So, and I was flying with the U.S. passport. I remember I corresponded with the U.S. Embassy in Azerbaijan to find out if there were cases where Armenians with U.S. passport were denied entry. So U.S. Embassy said they didn't have those cases, but in their website was indicated that there is possibilities that people might going to be denied entry if they have Armenian sounded last name. So, but my original last name was, what I tell you right now, was changed, and since I got married, I also adopted another last name, Nigerian, because my partner is from Nigeria. So upon entry into Republic of Azerbaijan in Baku, at Baku airport, I didn't feel any complication or interrogation or questioning. They just stamped the passport and let me in. And the same was when I left Azerbaijan. So there was no any problem entering. I guess maybe the weight of the U.S. passport kind of give more security, I guess, to allow you to enter. And maybe if I would have some other passport, I might not gonna have wouldn't have been so lucky. But visiting Azerbaijan was interesting, kind of like to bring the memories back, to visit that place where I was born. The apartment still exists, somebody else lives there. The area was completely changed, not the same. Helped me to bring my memories back when I was growing up. I visited my school where I was studying until I was age probably 15, 16 when I left. And but Azerbaijan Baku is a beautiful city. I mean, it was a beautiful city before, during Soviet Union time. Very charming, and now it's like there is a lot of construction. The architecture is beautiful, but I was not connected. I really was not connected to that place. Before, I kind of denied myself when people were asking where I was born. I always used to say Soviet Union, and I tried to eliminate Azerbaijan from it. But right now, if you're gonna say where you were born, I was born in Azerbaijan. I'm not gonna hide that. That's the place I was born. That's the place I was raised. But I wasn't really connected with Azerbaijan because mentality of people looks like they didn't change, and they're still the same. There's a lot of people. Some people were more welcoming. Some people were talkative, tried to share information. Some of them were rude, aggressive, not really friendly. I guess it's in every nation like that, and it's not only in Azerbaijan. But being in Azerbaijan, I never told anyone that I was Armenian because I tried to hide that and I try to avoid any possible escalation or questioning or anything like that. So better to be safe. So never told anyone that I was Armenian. So I have to come up with this story and basically say that I was mixed Russian and Cuban, and my mom married my partner uncle, and that's why I have Nigerian last name in the passport. So kind of like different story, you know, but it's for people to believe. Somebody probably believed it, somebody not, and I don't really care as long as I didn't mention anything, and I didn't want to mention anything, you know. And but I saw the place. I paid the homage to my place where I was born, but when I talked to immigration officials at the airport in Baku, they confirmed that citizens of Armenia are not allowed to enter, but they said that Armenians with other nationalities can enter Republic of Azerbaijan. The only thing that they might going to be questioning them, like if they've been to Armenia or visited Nagorno-Karabakh. But if you previously been in Nagorno-Karabakh before it was returned to Azerbaijan, and you had a stamp in your passport that you've been visiting Republic of Karabakh, you also will be denied entry into Republic of Azerbaijan. So, but what I was told that there is slightly little chances that Armenians with other nationalities or citizenship will be denied entry into Republic of Azerbaijan. But so Azerbaijan was done, list checked. I went there, I saw the place, saw my apartment, saw my school, saw my neighborhood, saw the city. And but Azerbaijan, if you're gonna look at it, Azerbaijan is not like really developed well as a tourist destination. If you're gonna look there around, that most of the tourists who come there, they're either from Russian Federation or former Republic of Soviet Union, and or from India. There is a lot of Indian tourists there because apparently they advertise Azerbaijan in India, and there is a special packages that very cheap for them to fly to come. But I hardly saw or met any Western European tourist in Azerbaijan because the tourist sector is not really properly developed in Azerbaijan. They have basically a way to go, a long time to go to modernize themselves as a tourist destination, because majority of guides, what I had some tourists there in Baku, majority of guides don't even know the history of Azerbaijan, their own history. They some of them don't even speak proper English. They cannot proper communicate or explain the certain landmarks or sightseeing part or museums you're entering. So it was kind of boring, basically. And they don't even, the customer service there, it's almost like zero. People don't even know how to properly talk to customers when customers have some questions to ask. And so they always roll their eyes or making sounds like, you know, it's not a welcoming part to say that, well, you know, welcome to Azerbaijan, you're a guest here, whatever. So they're being very annoyed by questions, by reactions of the tourists, or if you have something else to ask them, so which I didn't really like. So this being in the tourism and hospitality business requires a lot of patience and especially proper communication with the tourists, explaining them because they're new to your country. They don't know all your nuances or laws or information that they're required to obtain, and it's your job to properly explain them and guide them and be more welcoming and more friendly. But I didn't notice that in Republic of Azerbaijan, and so they have a lot of work to do to progress, to advance, and as the best tourist destination, if they wanted to be, to attract more tourists to enter the country. But as I said, Baku is beautiful, it's lovely. I had a great time, and visiting other part of Azerbaijan that I never experienced while I lived there, going to towns like Shekhi and Naftalan for some medical treatment. So, living back to Azerbaijan, what situation I experienced at the airport, there were some tourists who came to Azerbaijan from United Arab Emirates, from Dubai, and one was from Democratic Republic of Congo, who works and lives in Dubai. There were Indians from Dubai, and they came to visit Azerbaijan and Armenia. They spent 4 days in Azerbaijan. We're going to spend 3 or 4 days in Republic of Georgia, but apparently Georgia denied their entry and deported them back to Azerbaijan, and Azerbaijan authorities have to prepare them to deport them back to Dubai because they had a residence permit from Dubai. No explanation was given whatsoever why. I read it online, and a lot of people complain about it, about immigration situation in the Republic of Georgia. When I asked the guy what exactly happened, what they said that when they approached the immigration booth at Tbilisi airport in Georgia, so the person asked them if they have resident permit in Emirates, which they had, and they provided them. Then they send them to another room for interrogation, like if they have an insurance, they did, hotel reservation, they did, flight ticket from Tbilisi to Dubai, they did. They provide all this information, but immigration officer, without any explanation, with no reason, said that you denied entry and you will be sent back to Azerbaijan because that's where they boarded the flight. And it's really, really nasty situation like that. Apparently, reading online, I find out that it was a lot of cases like that happen. Then people were deported from Republic of Azerbaijan, and apparently, from Republic of Georgia, and apparently Georgian authorities at the airport were targeting mostly people from African countries, from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan. There were some Russians who've been also denied entry, what I was told, to Russian ladies. And so I don't know if that situation is because it's related to current events in Tbilisi, in the Republic of Georgia, demonstration, protest. But based on the internet information, what I found, those cases were existing before even new events happened in Republic of Georgia. So this is kind of like a racial profiling and discrimination from Georgian side. And how Georgian people would feel if they would be denied entry into European Union or any other countries they want to go, and someone will decide just not to allow them in without explanation and send them back to Georgia. Nobody gonna like that. Secondly, when Georgia tries so hard to join European Union, but discriminating people and raising racial profiling, that's considered a big no to be part of the European Union, and I don't feel like Georgia, with the situation like that, a treatment of foreigners based on their nationality or based on their look, denying entry, should deserve the right even to be part of the European Union. And I would personally vote, even myself, no because I didn't like it. Besides that, when we arrived to Tbilisi airport in Georgia, people there, authorities at the airport, were not even friendly at all to the foreigners, which was like really, really disgusting. The way they look at you, the way they talk to you, the way they treat you. It was horrible. They cannot even properly answer your questions. They're being all negative. They are raising their eyebrows, and the way they talk to you, like you basically like a garbage. You're not a person. And this treatment I really didn't like. Basically, immigration authorities at the point of entry, the way they treat people, that's basically you show how welcoming your country is towards the foreigners. The way you treat people at the airport, and basically treating them somehow, anyhow, that because they're not like a human being, or because like you have a superior comparing to other people, it's a red flag. That basically gives the impression how your country will be towards the other people when you enter this country. So the first impression is most important, and this is first impression at Tbilisi Airport, Georgia, was absolutely toxic. And but anyway, we left Georgia. We arrived to Athens, Greece, and people here are way more friendly, were way more welcoming. Nobody look at you differently just because you're from somewhere, or because your skin is different, comparing skin color of other people. And I was like, this is really, really disgusting when people treat people differently because of their skin color. Just because you're white, nobody gives you right to feel like you're superior than anybody else. Look at yourself at the mirror first, and look at yourself, at your behavior and the way how you treat people before you're gonna treat others nasty. White collar doesn't give you superiority, and white collar doesn't make you smart or more intelligent. There's so many smart, intelligent people around the world, and cannot just be white. And that's one thing I learned for people is to respect. You need to respect others, and be friendly to others, and be more welcoming. Color doesn't define your smartness, your intelligence, and your superiority. I was born in Soviet Union, were comprised of 15 different republics, and we had so many students from Africa studying at that time, from around the world. And when I was raised, my mom never raised me to be racist or act nasty towards other people because they have a different color. And I am proud of it. I've never been racist, and I respect everybody, but I wouldn't respect someone, no matter what color you have, if you're nasty towards other people, just because you judge them by nationality, by religion, or sexual orientation, or just because by their look. Well, that's what I wanted to say about the trip, and thanks for Azerbaijan for welcoming me back. I don't know if I ever gonna go back, but I made this trip just basically to show respect and to the place I was born, and to show my partner where I was born and the country I was born. And that was done. That's marked. So right now it's for the new adventure, or to see other places that's still not been discovered, and they're beautiful. But that's all for now. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.